Now let me ask you something. Have you ever had one of those days where all you want to do was sit and cry? And you spent the whole day with tears, maybe running even down your cheeks? At the end of the day, did you get anything accomplished? Hello, ladies. I feel honored to be able to speak, especially to you, the Pastoras. First of all, I really miss you all. I will attempt not to cry. It's hard to believe we came back in March to the Philippines, so excited about the days ahead. But after 7 months, many of you have not yet seen your face. I long for the day when we can fellowship again and gather in the presence of the Lord together. Let's pray it will be soon. I hope today to say a few words to you to reassure you in the faith. I'm not really going to preach to you. I'm just going to share my heart. I'm going to open up some of the things that I've experienced during this COVID-19 crisis and let you know that other people are walking in your shoes. I am sure that you are aware that women are creatures of emotion. Maybe you feel like you had more than your share of them lately. Maybe you feel like you're a basket full of emotions. I got this little emotional chart here I want to show you today. It's got all kinds of faces. You've probably seen something like this. I want you to figure out which one of these you are feeling today. Are you happy? Sad? Feel silly? Feel proud? Feel annoyed? Feel surprised? Excited? Angry? Worried? Scared? Are you in love? Are you sick? Are you calm? Are you bored? Are you sleepy? Are you hungry? Are you embarrassed? Are you ashamed? Are you jealous? Are you simply worn out? Some of the things we can feel. Oh, I could have more pages, but that's just to give you the idea of what I'm going to talk to you about today. I want to talk to you about managing your emotions in the ministry. It's a very important thing to learn. If you're married, it will greatly help your husband if you learn to manage your emotions. And if you're single, it's very important for you to keep your emotions in check and that you need to really realize how much your feelings can interfere if you allow them to. I wonder, and if you felt useless lately? Some of you, like me, have gone from a very full calendar and schedule to empty spots in the ministry. So much has changed, and you can almost begin to feel like you're losing your place in the ministry. I have thought many times recently, what am I supposed to be doing now? According to the COVID-19 restrictions, since I'm a senior citizen, most of the time they say I belong at home. Hey, wait! I'm not used to sitting in one place for very long. I'm a lady on the move. Direct your notions to do something useful. One thing I chose to do during my time at home here is I've really organized my children's materials according to the stories in the Bible, and I spent a lot of time filing things away, trying to get more ready for when we're allowed to get back to normal. Have you experienced times of confusion and being misunderstood when you didn't even understand yourself? When life doesn't make sense, it's easy to lose our way. The way we view life is clouded by our emotions. When life doesn't make sense, a lot of things seem unfair. Are you struggling with feelings of uncertainty? Are you living with fear, very real fear, of what lies ahead? Like it or not, we all struggle with our emotions. There are days when they threaten to overwhelm us. They're almost unbearable to keep up with the ministry challenges. Sadly, we don't pay much attention to our emotions except when they're going to overwhelm us. You know, it's okay to have emotions. Just be sure they are a blessing and not destructive. It's important we keep our emotions in check to keep from displaying behavior that is unpleasing to the Lord and our ministry. In the midst of unusual and trying circumstances, our mission remains the same. God does not want you to be ruled by your emotions and hinder your ministry. He loves you and wants you to have the peace and joy that comes with knowing how to control your emotions. Sometimes we fall into the trap of thinking that we have no control over how we feel. We hit a challenging situation, a wave of emotions sweep over us, and we feel powerless to change it. But just because your emotions feel powerful does not mean that they are all powerful. You have the power to overcome your emotions. Just because you feel them does not mean you have to act on them. We may not be able to control emotions, but we can choose to control our response. In order for you to help others and serve others well, you need to understand and control your emotions. Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever had one of those days where all you want to do was sit and cry? And you spent the whole day with tears, maybe running even down your cheeks? At the end of the day, did you get anything accomplished? Or did you just waste energy giving in to your tears? Think about that for a while. You got to recognize and identify your emotions. Pay attention to what you're feeling. Step back and think. Get your emotion under control so you can filter your reaction to make it helpful rather than hurtful. Now that takes strength. Learning to manage your emotions is the key to peace of mind. Emotions are measuring instruments, not our guide. Our emotions report to us. They aren't allowed to rule us. We are moved by our emotions, not led by them. It's hard to ignore the power of your feelings. But Jesus didn't allow others to control his emotions, and neither should you. When we are controlled by our emotions, by how we feel, we are settling for so much less than what God has planned for us. Emotional people make big mistakes when they base decisions on how they feel rather than obeying God and what they know is the right thing to do. We have to learn to live beyond our feelings and do what's right, even when we feel wrong. Ever come home from a Sunday morning service, sure that you're in the wrong place? It's time to go. Time to go someplace different. You just don't fit there anymore. The people don't want you there anymore. And on your mind goes, and your emotions get all out of sorts. And you're like, up, down, all that. That's just emotions. What you need to do is go talk to God and let Him balance your emotions. Naming your feelings helps you gain awareness, identifies your needs, gives you insight over the situation, gives you a sense of direction toward the resolution of the cause of those feelings, and ultimately helps you manage those feelings appropriately. It also helps you to find scriptures or articles that address the emotions you named and identified. Now, one thing about it, when we have all these emotions, a lot of times we just feel like we got to tell somebody exactly how we're feeling. I suggest you make God your go-to person. Take everything to Him. God is your outlet. So talk with Him about how you're feeling, whether it's a brief period of irritation or an underlying fear that you've pinpointed in your life. There will always be stresses in life, but are you nearing your breaking point? When I decided to speak to the Pastoras today, I really feel like there are some of you that you're just hanging on, like by a thread. You're at your breaking point. And I really believe one of the main issues in your life is you don't know how to handle your emotions. If something happens, you're a reaction person, and I get that. That's me. A reaction person. If something happens, I'm quick to react. But I am finding, as I go through the ministry all these years, I'm coming to the realization that we need to learn to plan our reactions and don't have such highs and don't have such lows, but learn to balance our emotions.